Do you have any questions for us after we listened to your music and everything? I enjoyed it.
I loved it, bro. I
Yeah,
really
appreciate
did,
it.
dog.
Do you have any
That shit
questions
was
for I
nice.
guess us as a group?
Well, it kind of ties into some of my music, honestly, but like, you know, whenever you guys like had the idea to start this podcast, right? Like, was it all of you guys together, right? Like,
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So like, whenever you guys had that idea, like, I would say with my music, like, of course, like, I love making it and like, I love what I've been able to do with it and, you know, the time I've been doing it. But at the same time, like, whenever you have like something like that, like whether it's music or like starting a podcast, right? Like, automatically, like, deep down, like, you know, like, some people are just gonna fucking dog on you, dude.
Oh yeah.
And it's like,
Good point.
that's like, I would honestly say that's part of the reason I haven't even released as much recently, because I'm so like critical of my own shit.
Yeah.
That, like, I try to just, if I'm not pleased with it, like, it doesn't come out, you know. But like, I've, you know, sent music to plenty of people, and you know, but
So
like, I was guessing the question was just like, have you guys dealt with shit like that?
Oh,
Or, like,
yeah,
how do you
I
guys,
think that's
like,
for sure. And I think with what you said, like the criticism on yourself, like you just came on, bro, and we're all grown man, and we all just listen to that shit and vibe to it.
Yeah.
And like, you know, obviously you're always going to be self-criticism on yourself, and like I said earlier, mixing is never perfect. So it's like you won't, but you
100%,
have to like just force yourself to be like, this is it. You know what I mean? This
all
is
about
it.
doing it, bro.
And it's confidence. It really is. So that.
So
Go ahead. No, go ahead, bro.
If you, because once you start, then you see every aspect that comes along with it, and those also need to be like faced at that time too. So I don't know. I guess for us, like I don't think like we've had too much like bad feedback from anybody, but to want to grow in the self like criticism, not criticism, but constructive
Oh yeah,
criticism.
our
Yeah.
show is
You know
definitely
what I mean?
different from the first 25 to 30 episodes in the
Right.
past 30 have
But
been.
we didn't
Yeah.
ever like use the word or do the term criticism
Oh, no.
when we spoke to each other. We
Yeah.
kind of did more like just construction. We just
Yeah.
like vocalized and worded how we could do things better, but we didn't really like. Obviously, we used things as examples, but
Oh,
we
yeah.
didn't say like, "Oh, this was fucking terrible." We
Yeah.
were more like, "If we did this, it would be better."
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
I was for sure not like scared, but like scared's a weird word, but like I wouldn't directly tell people that I run a podcast for the first like year that we did this. I don't know. I wasn't. It's like you're scared to put yourself out there. But I was proud of the stuff I did, but you're always like, what is someone else gonna think of what we're doing? I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, hey, I run a podcast.
Yeah,
Here's
and I'm
my
like,
fucking
take
card.
my fucking card, bitch. and Listen, bro.
But that's
Exactly,
as the quality has came up too. That I'm like the past 20, I'm super proud of how they've like our guests have been good, the video quality, the audio quality, everything's looked good.
Because
for the most part.
we've gotten better.
I feel like
should be proud, bro.
and another thing is that like no matter what the status is, whether like you're like a newcomer or whether like you're the champ at the top or whatever, like all of that is the journey. So I feel like as long as you're like in love with what you were doing, and I think that's the same thing. Like maybe there was something in those other artists that we spoke about earlier who, you know, were in a darker spot in life, and just like maybe they were missing something like that and thought maybe with the money or something that could have came about it. But I think like just loving what you do and loving being together and just being genuine with it, I feel like that's the main thing that keeps it operating. You know what I mean?
100%, bro. Yeah.
Yeah.
The haters will hate, and that's what we want them to do. We cheer for the haters to
Yeah,
hate,
like,
bro.
dude,
Like,
They
you know
pay
what I'm
do it.
attention, so like, yeah,
Hey.
you gotta like.
Bro, like they're gonna hate.
Because
They're
here's
gonna be
the thing.
upset
Here's the
at
thing
you.
about.
You're
Here's the
gonna-
thing
You're
about
spreading a good
hating.
message.
They're
They don't
gonna
like
be
that, man.
upset
I don't
at
know
you.
why. Why?
Yeah.
Here's the thing
Exactly.
about hating. You chose one thing to hate. Okay, you have your opinion. I agree. Do your thing. I agree of your opinion. But that means there's the opposite.
You can't not hate
yeah.
me.
I
I hate you, dude.
Right.
Whenever I cut clips, people were listening to this. Obviously, I blast that shit out on Snapchat, and the mindset I believe is if you don't want to see that shit, delete me off Snapchat. 'Cause
Right.
I'm gonna fucking send that shit.
But like, think
I'm
about
promoting
hating.
myself. I don't know.
People hate, but in order to hate something, there has to be an opposite. So you're basically admitting that people do enjoy it.
Oh yeah.
But that's just not you, and you have every right. People
okay.
have their right. That's fine.
it's okay.
That's your personal opinion.
Right.
Like
But-
the other day,
but
Courtney
you're
and
hating
Dylan,
it.
Yeah, said that they didn't like the Kendrick album, but they respected, like we said, they respected.
But
what
I
went into
do.
it.
So
Yeah, that's what I'm
that
saying.
means
Yeah.
if they hated it, which let's say
No.
hate. Let's
Yeah.
hate's a horrible word, but people dislike it. How about
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
People dislike certain things. If something is disliked, it means that it's liked.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
There's always the
that's kind of
yin
a
and yang to
win-win.
it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
What
That's
is
to
it?
everything.
No publicity is bad publicity.
Bad,
I can't say. I can't say
bad
it.
publicity is.
There's no bad publicity.
There is no bad publicity.
I can't say. It.
Bad publicity is good
tongue
publicity.
twister.
But
Yeah.
we're not talking about
There is
bad.
No, I'm just saying.
no bad publicity.
If you people are
There
hating,
you go. He said it. He said it,
Publicity.
Jared.
if people are hating, then
Something
that's
like
like
that.
okay. Then there's
Yeah.
obviously a platform that we're on that they.
And honestly, bro, I don't feel like people even really.
I haven't
like,
heard
hate,
anybody
bro.
any bad criticism. I've heard people. Obviously, when you do anything, people are gonna tell you what they think you should do.
Yeah.
But it's always just been us four.
Mm-hmm.
I've taken into consideration a lot of shit, and it's always just been us four. The ideas that go into it, it's just us.
And think about this: if you take into consideration about everything what people
Exactly,
say,
that's what I'm saying.
what the fuck
It's
is
not
your?
ours,
What, it's
yeah.
not ours.
Yeah.
Like what the
That's what I'm
fuck?
saying.
Like
Yeah.
all
do
this,
you?
all this shit, all this, like, I mean, I ran stuff by you guys, like, hey, does this look good? Is this?
Yeah.
Obviously, we've talked about, hey, if we did this, we did that.
Yeah.
Topics.
We
stuff
agree.
like
We
that.
disagree. we talk it
the
out.
belief in it. You know what I mean? To have belief in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and
true.
then it's like all that shit, like all the outside shit doesn't even matter because it makes sense to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, this
Right.
is like when people step in here. I don't know. It's just like a different.
Some people don't like to even have their voice on.
True.
They don't want to even
recorded.
be. Yeah.
But
and that's
like,
okay.
you're making
You know?
something to express yourself, and I like most of the time. I hope most people aren't fully doing this or doing any type of self-expression to get like the validation from someone.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
sure, that's fine and that's great. But like, if you're creating art and then you do it and you're finished and you're like, wow, that
This might be the
made
first
me
thing-
feel good.
Yeah, I've ever done in my life that I did for myself.
That's what I'm saying. I
I don't know if that
do
makes
it, and
sense. Yeah, that makes
afterwards,
sense.
I'm like,
That's what's up.
this is dope. I fucking feel good that I
Yeah,
did
yeah.
it. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I'm not like, oh man, this is terrible.
Yeah, fuck, I gotta go here I gotta do this every Sunday. Like, no,
Yeah.
I get to do this
Yeah.
every Sunday.
Exactly.
Yeah,
It's one of the best things to fucking do in the week.
Exactly.
So, like, not compared, but like in relation to your music, it's like, bro, it's like just
Yeah.
do it for yourself, but also like use that as your reason to connect to others. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, like I've felt like this for a while now, but like ultimately for me, like kind of how he said, like, he wouldn't tell people about like that he ran the podcast for like a year. It's like for me, especially like if I promote my music, right, and I get a comment, it's like, this shit's trash. Like I don't give a fuck, I
Right.
really
Yeah.
don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Like someone's gonna hate your music, someone's not gonna like it,
Like, bro,
But,
the
like-
food you made last night was garbage. So, like, who gives a fuck?
Anything
another
you say to
person's
defend
five-star
yourself,
dish, bro.
they're gonna use that as a weapon to like.
And
I got to you. Like,
I
you know
always
what
thought
mean?
about that too. If when it gets heated, like say things get heated, like you said, it ends up being a fist fight, and then it's like, okay, like we did scrap it out, but it's like, where did that even get us, kind of deal? You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
what even happened from it? It was like
That's
well,
a lot of what
do
I
you-
think on the internet now. Like people throw out stuff like, "Why'd you even have to say that? Does that make you feel better?" I don't know. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah,
when they're
yeah,
hating
totally.
on something, I
right?
guess.
Exactly.
I mean,
yeah.
the
And
dislike is for the likes. That's like
some people,
they
yeah,
really
some
what
people
it
just
is.
like to dislike.
Trolls.
Yeah, that's
You know,
what they
that's
really
a whole,
do.
that's a
Yeah,
whole other
exactly.
thing.
Trolls.
And that is one bad thing about Indianapolis. And I know you feel it as an indie kid. Like, and I know that's why I made Independent 47. Like, we need that fucking thing.
Yeah,
A
that's,
sense
You,
of
that's
fucking
you need to be
unity,
that
bro.
person.
yeah, exactly.
I need to make that outlet.
Like
You
there's
need to be
enough
that
money
person.
for everybody. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I'm sure in this world,
Oh,
like
yeah.
for everybody to get big, why can't everybody be supportive instead of be like, whoa, 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 you
We
I
know?
was
only
thinking
go to
that
one
like if I ever,
place.
if I'm ever on YouTube and I'm like, I just click a random video that I'll just fucking subscribe to the guy. Like it's not,
Yeah.
I don't have a limited number of subscribes that I can give out. I'll just fucking do it. 'Cause
Yeah.
that's-
Right.
You know what I mean?
What does it hurt?
It's not, you're not hurting anything.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
It makes someone feel good.
Another level I wanted to go into was like all the artists we talked about, and then like I'm sure you know the behind the scenes. We know the behind the scenes. Like you have to put in the work if you're wanting to put out something you love too. Like if
There's
you
work to
really
do.
love it,
Everybody
you
want to
have-
be famous.
you gotta-
Nobody want to put the work in.
Yeah, you gotta clock in and do it. We talked about Logic. He talks about releasing or having thousands of unreleased
100%,
songs
bro.
and in the studio for hours. Mac Miller's talked about sleeping in the studio. You've seen how much Wiz in the studio.
Like, bro, I
You wasn't with me shooting in the gym.
Yep. I always think about you saying that.
every single time I'll
always think when
I'll
you
be
say that.
mixing the podcast and you know it's late at night and like I don't go I don't go to sleep because I'm sitting there and
I'll have to get up
I'm mixing
before work and make sure this shit's like converting and everything.
or you
like,
can't go to work. Like
yeah.
it just
Or, like,
you-
I'll tell him
you
like
just
I gotta tell Haley to hit
feel
publish
it.
and shit.
Yeah, you're like Haley,
it's
please do
fucking-
this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
bro.
It's a lot
That's
of
cool.
shit.
That's cool. She does.
it's
that.
just and I'm sure with your music, bro, you
Yeah.
just you make it to where you know that you know at the end of the day you put your all into that and that's all that matters.
Exactly.
I can't tell you how many
That's a good
times
point.
like every week or like how many times during a week we've like been like on the deadline or like something's been fucked up. Like I gotta take it back down,
Yeah.
re-upload. Like shit happens and you just keep fucking going.
Mhm.